Okay, we are officially on. So good afternoon to all of you, and thank you so much for joining me. And thank you for those who are willing to give your reading time to me and listen to me talk about the ascended guides and angels. They are divine, exquisite beings who, once you find out who they are and start calling on them, it's amazing the things that can happen in your life. I became personally associated with them. Well, actually, years ago, but I became consciously aware of who they were and started calling on them just about maybe 2 years ago. And it's been an incredible experience, which is why I love doing the readings. Those who are doing readings with me know that I love doing the angel readings. So I hope you're having a blessed day, and I thank you so much for spending this time with me so we can share this information about our archangels and ascended guides. And as I mentioned before, this is presentation only, so you can post your comments and questions on our fan page on Facebook. Now, it's my intention to entertain and inform you that you will leave this presentation feeling inspired and comforted as we spend the next 30 minutes or so learning how to connect, commune, and work with the angels and ascended guides. Now, the angels are spiritual beings, they're heavenly, celestial beings. The ascended guides are a little different, and I'm going to describe that in a minute, what their differences are. So as I said before, if you want to take notes, please do. I hope you will. That way you can write down any questions or comments, and we can answer them later. If you've never been to our fan page, get on Facebook, do a search on ESP chat. It'll take you right to us. Now, everyone on earth, every being born on earth has at least 2 guardian angels assigned to be with them from birth through transition, and many of us have several more. So it can be anywhere from 2 to many. It all depends on what your needs are and how you connect with them, because once you connect with them consciously, they tend to come in and stay. We also have ascended guides around us, and they are here to assist and support everyone throughout your life as well. Let me see what's going on here. Okay, that's another call. Don't know why that's calling. Anyway, I will ignore the phone, and hopefully the office won't call because I'm not going to answer it. Now, the ascended guides and the angels, for that matter, are not tied to any particular religion, culture, or belief. And even though and I'm going to turn this phone off because I don't want this ringing while we're talking. I don't usually get calls while I'm reading, so this is unusual. But, as the universe would have it, when you are there, it's off. When you are doing something like this, everything tends to jump in. So let's just laugh it off, bless them, and they can call me back later. Now, as I was saying, the angels and guides are not tied to any particular religion, belief, or culture. And even though we associate them with particular groups of people sometimes, what that really does is really limits our ability to benefit from their presence and support. And then if you open your mind and allow them to come in, because they come from all over the world in every culture, current and past. But if you open your mind to their presence, then you can be divinely blessed by what they have to offer, because they have specialties. They do special things, and that's why there's so many of them. Now, they are all here by order of divine spirit, but they are mandated to honor our free will choices and can never interfere with those choices except to save our lives and protect us as needed. We were given free will choice as a divine birthright. It's a blessing that was given to the human race, which means that we, and only we, can determine what we want to do and how we want to experience life, even if those choices are made in ignorance and fear. So today, I invite you to open your minds and allow yourselves to see something a little new. This is a non-denominational presentation which is designed to provide you with spiritual and celestial support as you need it. It's not about a religion or any organized group of people or practice or view. It's about tapping into the universal resources that the universe, in its infinite wisdom and love, has given us. The angels and ascended guides have been here with us throughout antiquity for the longest time. And there was a time when humanity was very aware of their presence and openly connected with them. But as we've grown and become more sophisticated in many ways, we've forgotten them. We've excluded them, and in our misguided, well-educated, and sophisticated cluelessness, we've decided that we can go it alone. Now, while we must always remember that we have a direct connection to the universe, or source, or God, or spirit, whatever you call it, the angels and ascended masters are part of and come from source, just as everything does. They are divine beings because they are in a state of being that allows them to transcend the spiritual and physical realms as well at will. Now, the angels, who've always been only of the higher realms, spiritual, celestial beings, the ascended guides are different in that they are beings who've also had physical lives, but they reached a state of enlightenment and awakening that allowed them to ascend without dying. The most familiar example of this kind of ascended guide is Jesus, also known as Jeshua, Buddha, Krishna, and Vishnu. And there are many others, but I'll talk about them a little bit later. Right now, when I do the angel, I'm talking and addressing specifically the angels. I decided to include a little bit about the ascended guides because those of you who do angel readings with me know I do talk about them, and so this is to help you understand them a little better, who they are, what they do, and why they are here. Because remember, even though they are here, ever present and ever ready, they can't help you unless you ask. It's the mandate. They can't help until you ask. First, I'm going to talk about the archangels, the more familiar ones, which are Michael, who helps with protection and clearing, Raphael, who is about healing and forgiveness, Gabriel, which helps us with communication and creativity. You know, she's the messenger who brings messages from source down to mankind. And then there's Uriel, who helps with enlightenment and intuition, and Zadkiel, which is about compassion, forgiveness, and spiritual healing. Now, Uriel and Zadkiel, you probably don't know as much about them, and there are others which I'm going to name briefly, but they're important, especially when dealing with the kinds of issues we're facing today. Now, the other archangels, I'm just going to mention by name because we don't have enough time to go into all of their descriptions. It would take forever. And maybe we'll do another session sometime and talk about them in detail. But they are Haniel, Camuel, Muriel, Ariel, Metatron, Azrael, Jeremiel, Japhiel, Raquel, Raziel, and Sandalphon. And a couple of them, Metatron and Sandalphon, are considered to be twin angels, and they were, according to the research, actually born out of a human experience. Ezekiel and Enoch, I believe, were the ones who were raised out of the physical form and into the spiritual form and given the rank of angels, archangels. So that's it's a really interesting story, but we'll talk about them later. And if you're curious about them, you can look them up on the internet. There's a lot of information out there. Just be aware there are also variations in the spellings of their names, so you kind of have to do a little searching and be aware. I suggest buying some angel books and just reading about them. I found that one of the best sources of information, it's the one that I use, are the books and workshops by Doreen Virtue. That's Doreen, D-O-R-E-E-N, V-I-R-T-U-E, like virtue. She seems to be the most knowledgeable and consistent in what she presents, but there's tons of information and books out there, so find a source that resonates with you and read up on it. It's very interesting, very, very, very interesting. Now, in addition to the ascended guides I mentioned above, I'm also going to talk about a few more. Many of the guides work closely with the archangels, and those are the ones I'm going to discuss today. They're the ones that come up most in our readings and have the most to do with the things you're interested in, like clearing energy and making money, bringing money into your lives, and of course protection. There's Elmor, who is one who works closely with Michael when it comes to clearing your energy, clearing away dark energies and entities, and helping to protect you when you're threatened or feeling insecure. There's Ganesha, who is a Hindu deity, and he works with Michael a lot too, especially when it comes to clearing obstacles to your success and to things you want to happen. And Lakshmi, who is she's a Hindu deity. I guess you call her deity-ess, or she's a goddess. And these are, gods and goddesses with little g's. They're, definitely subservient to the to the universe, the main God, and she helps with abundance and prosperity. So since I know so many people are having a hard time with finance, I thought it would be interesting to give you a little background information, especially when I talk about Lakshmi being the one that controls the flow of prosperity. And then, of course, there's Jeshua, better known as Jesus. I'm calling him Jeshua because I know I have people of different faiths here. I said it was non-denominational. And Jeshua is really a more common known. It's the Hebrew name of Jesus. And that's the name a lot of other cultures know him by. So I thought to keep it generic, I would use his more common name, which is Jeshua. Now, we all know that, he's a special one. And he helps us with opening to love and comfort, bringing companionship, helping us with forgiveness, even healing, and basically everything else in life. Jeshua, as I mentioned, also known as Jesus, is the head of the Council of the Great White Brotherhood. Now, that's a special organization of celestial beings that are here to help govern and rule this part of the universe where we are. Now, the white in the name Great White Brotherhood has nothing to do with race. Remember, these are not racial people. These are spiritual beings. What it does refer to is the white light of spirit, the pure white light that everything is made of. And he's the head of the council that governs this area of the universe. That includes Earth, which includes us. Now, Michael is the first archangel we're going to talk about. He's probably the best known and the most powerful. Actually, he's considered the leader, the head of all of the archangels. He was the first angel created by spirit, and his name actually means who is like God. He's the leader of all the archangels and all the angels below him. But he's a warrior angel. He's often depicted carrying a sword in order to do battle with the forces of darkness. His domain is protection, courage, strength, truth, and integrity. And he not only does he offer physical protection, he also protects us against psychic attacks. Okay? Now, it's Michael's task to rid the earth of fear. And he's got a big job because we are pretty fear-based right now. And he can help you to become fearless, strong, and uncompromising when it comes to doing the right thing, because he's an angel of integrity. He's not going to help you with your dark, intended, or careless endeavors, but when it comes to doing the right thing, you can call upon Michael when you feel you need protection, courage, and strength and support. He can also be very inspirational, and it's the perfect angel to contact when you are feeling in doubt of yourself or nervous about something, when your motivation or sense of commitment is lagging or weakening. Call on Michael to boost your strength and dedication. Remember, he says you can do it. That's what he encourages you. Get busy, get out of your stuckness, and you can do it. Next, we're going to talk about Gabriel. Now, Gabriel is what we call the angelic hornblower, because she announces, messages and gets the attention of people. And the name means strength of God. And Gabriel presides over water, emotions, the psyche, and movement. And along with Michael, she's considered one of the two highest ranking of all the archangels. Now, some people consider Gabriel a male. But the truth is, angels are androgynous, which basically means they are both sexes or they are neither. That's both male and female or neither. I tend to feel Gabriel's energy as female because she's the one Spirit sent to tell Mary and Elizabeth and a lot of other women of the religious texts about their pregnancies. Mary and Elizabeth, Mary is Jeshua's mother, Jesus' mother, and Elizabeth is mother of John the Baptist. And the messages that they were pregnant was brought by Gabriel. And since Gabriel is also the one who helps with fertility and adoptions and childbirth, it seems to me that since pregnancy is a very female topic, it would make sense that the messenger would be female. Okay? So whatever resonates with you, though, they don't care. They're angels. They don't have egos. All they want to do is help us and love us. Gabriel can be quite inspirational, and she tends to nudge us in beneficial directions. So when you're unsure about your own direction and you need some guidance, or maybe trying to clarify a prophecy or a message from Spirit, call on Gabriel to help you understand. When you're contemplating a big change, Gabriel can also provide the clarity of vision you need. She, above all else, is a messenger. Gabriel brings news of happy tidings, like I mentioned, births, adoption. So if you want a child in your family, whether by your own natural birth or adopted one, Gabriel's the angel to call upon to help give you clarity and direction about what to do. In her role as messenger, she's also a coach. And you know, there's a ton of coaches out there. I'm one of them. But she's a coach for those who are communicators. She helps artists and writers overcome fear and procrastination. She helps you with that creativity. So if you're trying to get some work done and you got writer's block or you're stuck on something, ask Gabriel to help you communicate better, especially if your presentation has to be a live one, kind of like what I'm doing today, or you've got to be on stage to perform or whatever. Gabriel's the one to help you through that. She also acts as a healer in that she can help the body to release toxins. She can help them to release impure thoughts in your mind and even help you with heartbreak after some traumatic ordeal. So when you're feeling under psychic attack or emotional attack or something's going negative in your life, call on Gabriel. She can help vanish those energies. She helps you with good fortune and success. So remember that when you're trying to get something done. Now, Archangel Raphael is the next one. Now, he's the supreme healer. He's the one from the angelic realm, and he that brings healing and forgiveness, because as far as the universe is concerned, healing and forgiveness go hand in hand. Excuse me. His chief role is to support, to help heal and guide us in matters involving our health. Raphael literally means God heals, or he who heals. Excuse me. This is my first real long talking of the day, and so I got that stuff coming up. Many believe that his name is derived from the Hebrew word Raphi, which means medicine doctor. And in Catholicism, he is Saint Raphael, the patron of healing, physicals, travelers, and matchmakers. A lot of people didn't know that, but when people travel, they often ask for Raphael to accompany them because he tends to smooth the road ahead of you, you know, kind of intervene if something's going wrong with the travel plan. So, you know, these angels and ascended guides have so many talents and areas of that they help us in. It's really a good idea to just get to know them in general, and even if you don't think that's what they do, call on them. If that's the only name you can think of at a time when you're in need, just call them. If they can't help, somebody else will show up, okay? Anytime you call upon Raphael, he's there. He's the healing archangel, and he's not shy or subtle in announcing his presence like some of the others are a little more subtle in the way they show up. But he wants you to know he's there with you, and the way he does it is by showing up as green light energy, emerald green light, which you may see either physically in front of you or maybe in your mind's eye. But it's a way of comforting you and alleviating your stress on your way to health and recovery, and he does it for a reason. Like I said, his color is emerald green, which, if you know anything about chakras, the heart chakra is also emerald green, which is all about love. But it's also got white and pink and gold colors in it, but his color is green. So many times when people have asked God to send Archangel Raphael to heal them, what they'll start to see is green lights. Okay, some kind of green energy surrounding you, within you, in your mind, whatever. You can also visualize emerald green light around a person or bodily area that you're trying to heal. If you're helping someone who needs healing, or you're trying to heal a part of your body, see it surrounded by the sparkling, shimmering emerald green light. It's a way of invoking Archangel Raphael's presence and healing energy. Now, some people see him as light sparkles or flashes, even waterfalls of this sparkling green emerald color. But he knows the reason why he does the color more so than other angels is because he knows that if he announces his presence through his glowing green lights, you'll relax and start to feel better. And it's all about relaxing and allowing, especially when it comes to healing. Now, the next angel, Archangel Uriel. He's one of the ones that some of you know about, some don't. His name means God is light, or God's light, fire of God, because he brings enlightenment about situations. He brings translations of prophetic information. He also brings warnings, but he's about enlightenment and awakening. So, for instance, Uriel was the angel that came to Noah to tell him about the flood, to tell him to build the boat and to get ready for this catastrophe that was coming. Uriel is also the one who helped the prophet Ezra to interpret mystical predictions about the forthcoming Messiah in the Jesus story, and he delivered the Kabbalah to humankind. So you see, he's going through not only the Jewish religions, but all people. This is why I said earlier on, this is not about religions or cultures. It's about humanity. Now, Uriel has also been credited with bringing the knowledge and the practice of alchemy, which is a forgotten science. I know there are still people on the planet that do it, but a lot of religions speak against it. And I think as we're growing spiritually, we're beginning to learn that alchemy is simply the changing of something from spiritual form into physical form. Most people think it means turning stones and rocks into gold, and that's part of it, but that's not all of it. Alchemy can also mean changing your energy from dark or clouded to light and pure. Okay, it also, alchemy is what helps us take our dreams and bring them into form. So whether you believe it or not, you hear us talk about the magician and the tarot. Well, the magician is the symbol of the alchemist. Uriel is regarded as one of the wisest archangels. He's very much like an old sage, an old person that people used to call on back in ancient times to help interpret information and to give solutions and to bring insight. But you don't have to climb a mountain to find Uriel. You ask for him to show up and he's there on the money right away. But his personality isn't as obvious or distinctive or strong as Michael's or Raphael, so you may not really realize that Uriel has come to answer your prayers until you suddenly get a bright new idea, or somebody shows up, or you get this impulse to do something, this intuitive insight. That's the clue that he's there helping you. And, that's all you need, because that's what you're asking for. But perhaps because of this connection to Noah, as well as his affinity with weather elements and, major events, Uriel is also considered to be an archangel who can help us when it comes to things like earthquakes and floods and fires and hurricanes and tornadoes and all these natural disasters that Earth has been going through. So call upon Archangel Uriel to help avert such events or to heal and recover from the aftermath. Now, he has a lot of talents and can help us in many areas of our life. So it's a good idea to get to know him. And he's one of those you need to call on all the time, because he's more like a mentor. Like I said, he's like a sage, an advisor, and he will help to oversee your life lessons and help you to gain clarity so you can move through them faster. One of the greatest ways in which he helps us is by giving us additional information so that we can make informed decisions. Now, the last archangel I'm going to talk about before we move on is Zadkiel. His name is spelled Zadkiel. He's one of the lesser known archangels, but don't underestimate his power. And I like him because as I'm getting older, I'm having memory issues. And one of the things that Zadkiel does is to help us with retention and memory. So if you're studying for a test, and sometimes you guys ask me about those things, and this is one of the reasons I brought him into this presentation, ask Zadkiel to help you with your studies, to help you with retention and remembering and recalling things. He's also a locator. So when you can't get to us and you want to find something, and those of you who maybe have not used my little affirmation of finding stuff, there is no spot where God is not, and God knows where my whatever is. Well, ask Zadkiel to help you find it, because he does that too. Now, he's the archangel of freedom and happiness, and his name means righteousness of God. As the patron of all who forgive, his areas of specialty are compassion and benevolence and mercy. He's considered to be the archangel of mercy and benevolence, probably because of his role in stopping Abraham from sacrificing his son Isaac as an offering to God. Yep, Zadkiel was the angel that came and said, no, you've passed the test. Zadkiel can help you feel mercy and compassion towards yourself and other people, and this is essential when it comes to letting go of judgment and unforgiveness, and many of us have a hard time with that. So Zadkiel can help you open your heart to forgiveness. He's a healing angel, and he works again with Archangel Michael, who, like I said, is the leader of the archangels. He's everywhere. But Zadkiel works with Michael to help replace negative energies, especially when it comes to faith and compassion and judgment. He helps us to see the divine light within ourselves and other people, so that we don't focus on the surface personalities, our humanness, or the mistakes that we make, or the ego. If you're having difficulty forgiving yourself for something or someone else, ask Zakiel to intervene. He'll kind of act like a chimney sweep in a way to clean out your body of the negative energies, to clear your mind, and to open your heart and clear your heart of any unforgiving energies that are lying there. This doesn't mean that you are, remember, forgiveness doesn't mean you're sanctioning or allowing or excusing anyone's abusive or bad behavior. What it really means is that you are no longer willing to cart around the emotional residue or attachments to these old events. You're ready to let go, take the ball and chain off your ankle, and move forward, because it's not about them. Forgiveness is about you, detaching from the drama and focusing on your future and healing and moving forward. Archangel Zakiel is also widely known for his help with memory functions, as I mentioned. So if you need to memorize or remember something, just ask him to help you. If you've lost your car keys or that ring or some money or whatever, ask him to come and help you find it. Now, I'm getting ready to start going to talking about the Ascended Guide, so I want to take a minute for those of you who may have just dropped in. This is a reminder that this is a presentation only event. You can't post questions or ask questions or make comments. You can do that by going to our Facebook fan page, ESP Chat. If you've never been there before, just go to the search box on Facebook and put in ESP Chat, and it'll take you right to our fan page. You can post your comments, your questions on the fan page, and I will be making visits to the fan page, and we'll be posting answers to your questions or responses to your comments there. This is also a great way to get you guys to come to the fan page for those of you who've never been there. So let's keep going, because I've got a little bit more to cover, and I don't want to make this run too long. So now I'm going to talk about the Ascended Guides. And I'm going to start with Jeshua, also known as Jesus, Christ, or Sananda in other cultures. Probably not well known to some of us, because that's I can't remember which culture that name comes from. I think it's Sanskrit, India, ancient India. But anyway, since he's the head of the Council of the Great White Brotherhood, the Great White Light Brotherhood, I thought we'd start with him. And he's, around the world, probably the best known. All cultures recognize him on some level or another. Now, there's a widespread belief that Jeshua is watching over the whole world and its inhabitants, ensuring that harm does not befall us. And many of us who've had our own personal experiences with him know that his presence and influence in our lives has made a tremendous difference. Many healers call upon him when they work with clients in healing practices, and he's equally powerful with people of every culture and religion, even those who are non-religious. Most people have some relationship and belief in him, and it's because he's such a powerful, pure Christ energy. He's the one who, directs light creation from spirit, and the highest of all, of everyone, of all there is. So even if you don't have a religious affiliation, you can still believe in the Christ light, the white light of spirit, because that's what Jesus is. His unconditional love and forgiveness can heal anyone that's troubled by anything like guilt, fear, unforgiveness, any illness, any trauma or pain. And for those gifts and blessings that, we're grateful for that help. But he can also help you with communicating with spirit. If you don't know how to pray, or you're not sure what to do, you can, ask Jesus to intervene, or, help you learn how to pray, whatever. He also helps with divine guidance and direction, with faith issues if you're feeling challenged or a little doubtful. I use Jesus a lot for comfort and security, because, being on my own, I don't have much family left. I spend a lot of time alone, and during my darkest days, I really ask a lot of times, just please give me comfort and companionship so that I don't feel alone. And it really, really helped. Of course, he's the master healer. And he also is, a miracle worker. He created miracles. He raised people from the dead, and he's certainly good at manifesting whatever you want in your life, including abundance. So to invoke his help, all you have to do is think about the presence, envision a picture of whatever picture you've seen. It doesn't matter what you see in your mind. It's the emotion and feeling that the universe reads anyway. So from your heart, just send out as much love as you can feel and imagine, and then notice what energy is returned to you. Usually it's a warm, cozy feeling of love and comfort and security, but it's stronger than you would normally feel, and you can sometimes feel a little tingly. So you keep sending and exchanging and receiving this love and monitoring how you're breathing, and as you start to calm down and feel the presence, you'll understand that that's what it is. And then you just start talking, pretty much like I'm talking to you. Tell them what you need, what you want, what you're afraid of, big, little, whatever, it doesn't matter. You can also ask for Jesus or Jeshua to intervene on behalf of other people that you care about. He's absolutely trustworthy, so you can tell your deepest secrets. Nobody's going to find out, and there's no judgment, none whatsoever. You can always use this information. He will use it in a positive way to help and support you. Then just ask him, like I said, to intervene or give you direction or, forgiveness if you feel that you can't allow another person to forgive or that you can't apologize. Some people have trouble with apologies. Ask Jesus to forgive you. It goes a long way because that energy flows through everything. You don't tell him what to do or how to do it. You just simply ask for assistance and then allow, and through love, you will get the healing that you need, okay? But if you don't know how to talk or ask for help, you can simply say, help me. I mean, sometimes that's all you're able to get out in a real crisis situation. Lord help me, God help me, Jesus, Jeshua help me. Help me is a prayer. Everything you say is a prayer. So no matter what, it doesn't have to be formal. This is not about our humanness. This is about our spiritual connection and communing on a pure space and place. And that's what this is all about. That's how you communicate with any of them. Now, the next one I'm going to talk about, the next ascended guide, is Buddha, because a lot of people know about Buddha. Buddha is the enlightened or awakened one. And he's more, he comes from more of the Asian religions, the Buddhists, but he's a very powerful entity in that he also he crosses all lines of cultures and belief systems. Now, Buddha has had several physical lives here on earth, and the belief and understanding that Jeshua has too had many lives, and there are even passages in the Bible that support this. But I think we're more consciously aware of Buddha because his life was it's still very open and accepted. We see Buddhas everywhere. We see, in documentaries and everything. According to history, though, he was born, and I'm not sure if this was the first incarnation or one of the latter ones, but his birthday is somewhere around May 8th and somewhere around the year 500 BC or current, whatever, CE or whatever they call it these days. When I was in school, it was BC, and they've changed everything, so whatever. He was known in this particular lifetime as Prince Gautama Siddhartha, and he grew up in a wealthy family. He was one of the princes living in the royal palace. And when he was finally old enough to venture out on his own and did go outside the walls, he was appalled and shocked to see the levels of poverty and suffering that existed just outside his window pretty much. And because of this and because of his light and his love, he was compelled to help those, to comfort them, to try to bring solutions and relieve their suffering. And he became so intensely devoted to this purpose and became so good at it, and he pulled in so much love and light energy that instead of dying through one of these lifetimes, he actually ascended, just like Jesus did, just like the stories tell us where, Jeshua, they rolled a stone away and he ascended into heaven in physical form. This is the same way that Buddha ascended. And all of these ascended guides that I'm talking about were physical beings on earth. Through their work, their humility, their growth and awareness, were able to transcend death and ascend in spiritual form, in a physical form, into their spiritual forms, which is why they now can come back and forth to earth, assist us, whether they're in spirit form. Some people see them in physical form. Doreen Virtue is one of the ones who has had spiritual and physical visitations from the beings that I'm talking about. And if you get her book, Angels and Ascended Guides, which is the one that I use for my readings, she talks in that book about meeting each one of these entities and angels and actually communicating with them to get the information that she's provided in all of her books and she gives out in her workshops and the things that the exercises and practices that she does. So, as Gautama Siddhartha, he ascended and became Buddha, and this aspect of his personality, of his beingness, is the one who encourages us to meditate. When I talk about Buddha Gautama in our angel readings and I talk about meditating, he's the one that talks and encourages you to meditate daily and to create this regular practice, because that's how he became the Buddha and ascended. So Another of the manifestations that we see him is the laughing Buddha. That's the one that looks so happy. He's got the little fat belly and he's so happy. He's Maitreya Buddha, and he reminds us that what we are here to do is have fun and have joy in our lives. He asks us to remember that the joy is the highest of all the emotions. It helps us to heal and remove obstacles and bring so much love and joy into our lives that we stay out of negativity. We become stronger and can, through the law of attraction, bring more to us of what we really want. This is the power that we use. Love and joy are the powers that we use to create what we want in our lives and to avoid the things that we don't want. So he admonishes us and reminds us to stay grounded and centered in joy. He also encourages us to meditate as a way of achieving this inner peace and serenity, which allows you to stay in joy. So to invoke his help, you simply sit quietly, like in a meditation state, focus on your breathing, and then imagine in your heart space seeing the Buddha sitting inside your heart chakra, surrounded by white light, and then keep breathing and feeling his love, and you'll know that his presence is near. You might also smile, and that's a real clear example of him being present with you. The next one is Krishna, and a lot of us know about Krishna. For those of you who used to go to the airports, I don't know if they're still there, but there used to be the Hare Krishnas at the airport chanting, wearing those peach-colored robes and things and chanting. Well, they are the followers of his faith, but he's way more than what they were exhibiting, begging and being present, chanting and what have you. He is a Hindu god, or little g, deity, that has three facets. He's Krishna and he's also Vishnu. But as Krishna, he helps us to see and look for the blessings in our experiences, especially those that are difficult. He helps to protect and oversee life here on earth, and he intervenes and tries to overcome and help when inhumane practices are being perpetrated on others. He helps us through our difficult situations by urging us to find the blessings in our experiences, so that once we do, we can move quickly through the experience back into joy, love, and comfort. As I said, every experience we have is for the ultimate purpose of learning and teaching, and to help us grow towards our enlightenment and our own personal awakening. And so he's there when you call on him. He's there to help ease your way, to help you move out of resistance and fear so you can embrace the blessings that are trying to come to you. He loves to connect with people through food, though. I don't know what his thing is about eating, but if you want to invoke his help, and you can do it by just asking, but it's a special thing if you, when you're about to sit down to a meal, and we usually do our blessings of the food and pray and thank God, thank the universe for the foods. And maybe that's why he likes food so much, because we tend to bless our food. Well, if you want to do that, ask for him to come in while you're blessing your food before you eat. And then when you do get ready to eat, look at the food lovingly and appreciatively, and call him in to join you in enjoying this food. Tell him you're blessing this food and offering it, a share of it, to him, and he'll accept your gift. He'll bless your food, purify it, and help it, to be more acceptable to your body. And this will be his spiritual gift to you. Then thank him when you're complete, when you're through eating, and then enjoy the food. But eat it slowly and enjoy each bite. You might notice it tastes a little better. It goes down a little easier. You might not experience indigestion and other things that plague you when you normally eat. Just know that his experience is like being with a very wise dining companion, someone who offers you great wisdom and advice. Now, Vishnu is the other aspect, or not one of the three aspects of Krishna, and he has to do with trust. And a lot of us have trust issues. A lot of women come to me with trust issues, especially because we've had bad experiences in love. So call upon Vishnu to help you clear that energy and to see the truth of a situation or a person. He helps us to be more aware and more intuitive so that we can judge more accurately whether this is a person we should trust. He's part of the Trinity, so you can use the same invocation I gave you for Krishna regarding blessing your food, and ask Vishnu to come in to help you with healing and releasing judgment and fear, so that you can trust and be confident that what you're seeing is a trustworthy situation. Now, the next one, and I've only got a couple more, and I want to talk about Morya for a minute. Morya also works with Archangel Michael, he helps with clearing dark energies. And very often people will come to me and say, I've got this darkness around me. How do I clear it? I'm feeling threatened. People are casting spells on me. And I'll tell you to call on Archangel Michael and Ascended Guide Elmor. This is the reason why. They work together to clear dark energies around you and then to shield you with white pure light to prevent further intrusions or attachments or reattachments of dark entities. Now he lived in, he was a member of the royal family of Kashmir in the 1800s. His name was Ranbir Singh. But his political focus was on making humane and fair changes to the laws in his country. He became so enlightened and aware and so focused spiritually that he did ascend when he passed, supposedly passed away, and became part of the High Council to assist us with legal and political matters, and mostly to help us with clearing our energy and keeping ourselves safe spiritually within and around us. And you simply ask him for help and ask Archangel Michael to work with him and to clear and shield the energy around you, and that's exactly what they do. The next one is Lord Ganesha, or Ganesh, whichever you want to call him. He's also a Hindu deity, but the reason I included him is because many of us are trying to get through our stuff when it comes to money blockages and success blockages and finding jobs and being able to just get through to the things we want to happen. And Ganesha is the elephant-headed deity from the Hindu religion or faith. And I know in our Western culture we tend to think, oh, that's not real. How can he be human with an elephant head? Well, I don't have the answer to that. There are stories about how that happened. I don't know. I don't question it, but I do honor and respect the beliefs of any culture, because just as we want to have people respect and honor our beliefs about Jesus and our other ascended guides, I feel the same respect and honor for someone else's beliefs. But I do know this. I needed some help in getting my business clear and trying to get my life back on track. And so I opened my mind and my heart to anyone that would help me. And so I started calling on Ganesha because he clears the obstacles to success and abundance. And they call him the remover of obstacles to success, prosperity, and opportunity. He also works with Archangel Michael, because remember, Archangel Michael also removes obstacles and what have you. So when I want a door open or need to clear the way for something I need to do or want to happen, I call on Ganesha, and he does do it. Whatever the outcome is, I don't know. It works. That's all I know. So you call on him at the beginning of any ceremony or event when you want things to go smoothly without hitches and you want the highest and best possible outcome. He's the one to call on. He's very supportive, and especially of creative people like writers and business people and entrepreneurs. And wherever there's a need, wherever you are in a bind, call on Ganesha to come and help clear the way for you. And he's a playful, happy kind of energy. So you'll probably get this little feeling of joyous lightness when the mission is accomplished. And when we do the readings, his answer when I read the card for you is yes. He always says, yes, I'm here to help and I can do it. And he gets out there and does whatever he does on the spiritual planes. And the next thing you know, somebody is calling you, or a door is open, an obstacle goes away, a solution appears. And that's what he does. Now, he will not do the work for you. He just opens the doors and, kind of ushers you through and says, yes, now you can move forward. So you must do the work yourself, but he will make the way and remove the obstacles so you can move forward. The last ascended guide I'm going to talk about is Lakshmi. And I'm leaving her for last because most people who are having financial problems right now are worried about the money, worried about this, worried about the finances. And the truth of the matter is, worry is like praying for what you don't want. And she encourages us to not worry. When you want prosperity, need money, need cash flow, need all of these things to open up for you, you call on the goddess, little g, of wealth and prosperity, of both material and spiritual wealth. Her name is Lakshmi, and she helps us overcome financial fears and tap into the river of abundance that's available to everyone, even if you don't know it or feeling it is flowing around you. But she will help to open to turn on the faucet, to clear the way so that the flow comes towards you instead of being blocked up or dammed up by your own fear, insecurity, and worry. And some people feel it's helpful to put a statue or a painting of her in the financial corner of your house or office. So if you believe in feng shui, That's the left, or you practice it. It's the left rear corner of your home or office as you stand in the doorway looking into the front of your home or your office. So that would be the far left corner. Call upon Lakshmi to help transmute money worries into financial flow. The word Lakshmi is derived from the Sanskrit word Lakshmi, meaning goal. So her name, therefore, represents reaching your goals in life, which includes spiritual prosperity as well as financial wealth and prosperity. Now, there are many, many more angels and ascended guides available to help us with everything we can experience in life. And I've just given you a brief overview of some of them. So as I recommended, if you want to know more about them, buy one of Doreen Virtue's books. I use angels and ascended guides, but I've bought a couple of others because there's so much information it couldn't possibly be contained in one book. Now, the angels and guides are here for us. They serve humanity and all of life here on earth. Spirit put them here for a reason, and whether you ever call on them or believe that there's no reason you ever should, they'll still be there for you should you ever need them. They're here to save your life in situations if they arise, and you don't even have to ask for that. But they're also here whether you acknowledge them or not, and they're not offended if you don't acknowledge them. That they don't have ego like we do. They know the truth of their purpose. They know the truth of us, which is to serve and be the expressions of divine love here on earth. If you ever need them, though, all you have to do is ask, and they will be there right by your side, giving you love, guidance, and assistance whenever you need it or desire it, because that's who they are. That's what they do, and that's why they are here. So I bring their messages to you to inspire you, to guide and comfort you as you walk your personal journey of love and discovery. And at this point in time, I'm finishing up. So, experiment with them, call on them when we do our little readings, ask me for more information. I will give it to you as I can. Now, I was going to give a general invocation for prosperity and abundance here, but time's running out and I don't want to make it go any longer. So I will post that general invocation on our fan page, which is another reason why you should come there. And I encourage you to visit us on the fan page and find out what's going on there. There's a lot happening. And the more of you who come, there'll be even more happening. So anyway, by posting it on, the good thing about putting on the fan page is you can copy it off and keep it so that you can use it whenever you need it, so that you can have more abundance, prosperity, love, and joy showing up in your life. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. And wow, we've got more people now than we started, which is excellent. I'm so thrilled. I'm so happy that you honored me with your presence. So I will be on at 2 p.m., a little while longer, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 Eastern. Come join me. Let me know what you think. Let me know how this helped you. And again, I honor the love in you, and I thank you for your time. Namaste. Yours in light and love, Sophia, signing off.